Hello, everybody. HealthForce podcast, RamsandLeeFitness.com, RamsandLeeFitness.com. I think today is going to be what I wanted to do is change gears. We had our interview last week. We talked to Anthony Howard Crow about his 100-day ice cream and protein powder diet. If you have yet to listen to that, highly recommend going to our latest research tab on RamsandLeeFitness.com and playing that one. It really gets into calories versus like sugar and fat, and really what's going to be the main determinant of weight loss. So that's a cool sort of profile to see and watch another individual go through an extreme diet to make a point. A lot of our recent podcasts, again, too, have been trying to deal with exposing different things. The supply of content for this podcast is endless. I could do that every single episode if I wanted. However, today I want to give everybody listening something to take away that they can start doing tonight, like right after they're done listening to this. This is something that is easy to follow along with. You can start implementing changes now, and the idea is to form good, healthy habits. And I have mentioned this for quite some time now, where I am all in on long-term goals. Okay, I want to start shifting this conversation about health and wellness. Instead of this stupid 20-day cleanse, the 30-day fix, the 2-week challenge. Oh, I've lost this much in 4 weeks. Oh, I've lost this much in 2 months. Can we start talking about 6 months, 12 months? Testimonials are so fabricated for the most part that number one, it's anecdotal information, but then number two, a lot of the times it's done for dramatic purposes to make their point. It's marketing. So oftentimes the people that may go on a Shakeology diet or go on to a 20-day fixed cleanse or something, they might see results in 20 days, but where are they in 6 months? Where are they in 12 months? How about 3 years down the road? I'm not really interested in creating short-term successes so that I can sell a product. I think, as we've discussed, that's totally disingenuous and selfish. I'm interested in having people actually become liberated by things that they find limiting in their health and fitness right now. I want every single person listening to this to be able to accomplish the things that they want to do in life. If it's rock climbing and you're not there physically to be able to do that, I want to help get you there. If you want to run if you want to run a massive marathon and compete in an Ironman, and you're nowhere close to that physically, I want to help get you there. Maybe you're somebody that's just middle-aged, or even maybe in their 30s. Maybe you've had a couple kids, and you're starting to fall into the mom-dad bod, and you want to lose 10, 15 pounds of fat and replace it with some muscle tissue. Hey, I want to help you. So I'm not interested in talking short-term only. I want to form ideas in your head, and I want you to think and contemplate and form your own brand new health and fitness habits, things that will stick. Not the diet that you tried in 2012, not some new supplement that you took in 2014. Things of the past where they were in and now they're out, and you're still stuck feeling the same way and looking the same way. I am very, very different. I want things that you guys can embrace, things that are easy to follow along with, things that you can do, things that you want to do. Like cutting out sugar, most of you don't want to do it for the rest of your life. It's not going to happen. But hey, maybe changing from regular full sugar Pepsi to Diet Pepsi, hey, maybe that's something that we can get on board with and start doing this week. So where we're going to shift this conversation and talk about today is I want to give each and every one of you a takeaway for a nutrition attack plan. Like, what is some things that you could start doing today to focus in your nutrition plan, figuring out where you want to go with your goals, and how we can kind of reverse engineer that and go back, look maybe 12 months down the road here, 2 years, 3 years, kind of what you feel like you want to look like, what you want to feel like, and let's start today working to get there. And, no matter how that roadmap kind of shakes out, and everybody's going to be a little bit different, the bottom line is you need habits for the next 12, 24 months. If you go into this thing with a new fad diet, if you go in with just a 4-week plan of attack and you're not thinking 8 months down the road, then you're not going to be successful. It's not going to happen. And today, there's some things that we can do to start building momentum. Does that mean that in 2 weeks that you're going to lose 10 pounds? No. Most likely, no. Does that mean in 7 days you're going to feel amazing? Depending on where you start at, probably no. But we really need to shake this short attention span. I understand that with technology, social media, vlogging, like there's all this content that's out there, and we want things now for speed. I mean, look at Uber. No one has to wait, for a taxi, and you have to be outside with your thumb and try to flag a taxi down. Like you can on your phone order a taxi. It tells you when it's there. You go right outside into the car. Speed. And I know that's kind of how we approach everything in life, but this health and fitness, your body, we need to take a step back. We need to take a step back. The things that are quick, the things that promise speed, they do not translate long term. Health is not a speed thing. Like if I were to give you two choices, achieve results quickly in 7 days or achieve long-lasting habits that give you your fitness results, but it takes you 24 months, what are you selecting? The audience might even be 50-50 on that question. I think most people's knee-jerk reaction is to say, yeah, I want the results now. But if you really, really think about it, you get results now, but where are you in 9 months? You might reverse those results and actually be worse off than you were. So I think we should start playing the long game. That's something that you're going to hear me use a lot moving forward here. Let's play the long game. It's a baseball game. We're in the first inning. Okay, we've got 9 to go. We've got 9 total innings in this game. Why are we being hung up on the first and second inning about, we have to put it all in now. We have to go crazy the next 3 months. Like, let's settle down, plan out, let's be strategic. And I think, one of the core principles about this is your food intake. And that's what we're going to discuss today on this program is forming habits that you can stick to when it comes to your nutrition, the food that you consume for whatever your goals are, whether it's weight gain or weight loss. Okay? Let's hop into it. I have an article from mysportscience.com. Fantastic resource. I highly recommend going to that website, mysportscience.com, and following along their content that they put out. Well, today we have an article from February 6, 2017. It's entitled Trend, Eating More of All Major Food Groups. The subtitle is Americans have been consuming more of all the major food groups. And so to set this up a little bit, we are bombarded with information telling us that we're eating the wrong types of foods, that our ancestors didn't have access to this, and that's why they were skinny. But since we do, it's having an adverse reaction in our bodies. Our bodies becoming inflamed. We're being addicted to things. We're hearing a lot of fear mongering, a lot of false narratives, just things that are like we've talked about with Anthony Howard Crow on the podcast. Selfish, a scam artist, despicable, you name it. Because it's not telling the story. It's not telling the truth. And luckily, in this industry, in this field, we have what's called data. Anybody that has a Google browser can find this data. So this is what's so disheartening about it, is that people are still in this day and age able to get away with things, essentially by either lying or omitting facts. So everything that we talk about today, just like in every episode, I want you to research yourself. Don't just believe me because you like me, because my voice sounds angelic, or because I'm entertaining, or you've listened to my advice in the past and it worked. Like every single thing we do, I want you to believe it. I want you to buy in. All right, so all this is Googleable. You can find all of this stuff. But we want to push back on this narrative that there's just one thing in our diet that's disrupting, because that's not what's happening. It's not just sugar. I hate seeing that damn thing. I hate seeing everybody has gluten intolerance. Every single one of us has it. Not only is that not true, but it's also, in my opinion, almost insulting to those that actually do have a gluten intolerance or sensitivity, or they just can't handle it. Like, most people do not have that problem. So let's not jump there. Grains are bad. Dairy's bad. Like, there's all these things that we're being told are bad. Peanuts. Oh my God. Beans. Instead, let's digest this article. Let's reset the slate. Let's focus back in on what's actually causing the problem. And I think this is what's going to really allow us to form these habits, is if we understand why, what's changed from 1970 to when people were lower body compositions, or, lower BMIs, better and healthier body compositions, as compared to today when we've got 2/3 of individuals walking around overweight. And that number is going up. So here's the article. Recently, An interesting report was published by the U.S. Department of Agriculture. The document sheds light on food consumption patterns in the United States and how these have changed over time. With obesity rising, with claims being made that there are links between certain foods and certain nutrients, and then obesity, it is interesting to look at these trends and see how they correlate. So what the author here is referencing is, there's a bunch of people saying it's one or two things. There's certain nutrients or there's a certain food, aka sugar, things that are causing obesity. But now what we're going to do is we're going to analyze the data. So let's continue. This report examines the amount of food available for consumption in the United States between 1970 and 2014. The report focuses on loss-adjusted food availability data. These data are essentially obtained from the foods that are produced and available for consumption and then corrected for food losses, which is food spoilage, plate waste, other losses along the way. This gives an estimation of consumption per capita. This is different than other studies where a cohort of people is asked to record their food intake. Both approaches have their challenges and limitations, but both provide estimations of food intake in a population and insights into trends. So what did the new study find? First, Americans have been consuming more food from all food groups from between 1970 to 2014. Even the consumption of fruits and vegetables has increased. But most notably, on average, Americans consume more foods that are high in added fats and oils, added sugars and sweeteners, and grains than is actually recommended. They consume too few foods that are nutrient dense, such as vegetables, seafood, low-fat dairy products, and fruit. So I want to stop here and interject a little bit. So here we're finding that it's literally not that we're just having fast food and then never eating fruits and vegetables, or that, hey, we're just, we're eating donuts and we're eating Hostess and we're eating Lay's potato chips and Doritos, but we're not having grilled chicken and steak. That narrative is not true. That is not true. What's happening is we've just increased our volume of food. Think about this. In your daily life now, maybe in the past 5 years. I know this is short term and macro, and it's gonna be short term. It's gonna be different for all of us. But think about it this way. Think about maybe a time where you really weren't health and fitness conscious, and then now kind of where you are, or maybe at a time where you were, and think about your consumption of fruits and vegetables. So you've probably increased that. You probably consume more fruits and vegetables when you're being more healthy, more conscious about your health. But did that necessarily correlate and translate into results? I think there's a lot of individuals who have tried to be healthy. They've had more fruits, they've had more vegetables, and they didn't get the results, or they did and it wasn't long lasting. So it's not like if we just all eat healthier food and get rid of the bad stuff that, hey, we're a lot better, or that there is no narrative that we're not consuming enough of the healthy stuff. That's actually what I want to focus on, not so much, hey, we just need to eat healthy food. I think we're starting to formulate and see where this is going. Over the same data period, we have seen a dramatic increase in obesity as well as type 2 diabetes. These data are more compatible with the idea that obesity is caused by eating too much, not necessarily by eating too much of one nutrient, whether that's fat or carbohydrate, added sugar, or anything else. And I'm going to repeat that again. So if you missed it the first time, perk the ears up, pay attention. Here we go. Over the same period, we have seen a dramatic increase in obesity as well as type 2 diabetes. The data is more compatible with the idea that obesity is caused by eating too much. Obesity is caused by eating too much, not necessarily by eating too much of one nutrient, whether it's fat or carbohydrate, added sugar, or whatever. So this author is making the claim and showing through the data, it's not a problem of, like I said, eating too many Doritos or having too many brownies. We're just eating too much. And this is what circles back to one of the main conversations I had with Anthony on the podcast last week about calories in versus calories out, and why that is still king of nutrition. Why it's not about cutting out sugar. It's never been that. It never will be that if I have anything to say about it. All of the data is pointing towards this. We're eating too much food. Data like this have limitations as indicated above. They are impossible to apply to an individual, but are pretty good estimates of what is happening at the population level. There are also advantages of this method over other methods of assessing dietary intake. For example, food intake records rely heavily on honest and accurate reporting of dietary intake, and it is generally known that these methods may underestimate true intake by 20 to 60%. Quote, "It is very injurious to health to take more food than the constitution will bear, when at the same time one uses no exercise to carry off the excess. For as ailment fills and exercise empties the body, the result of an impact, whatever, between them must be to leave the body in the same state they found it, that is in perfect health." Close quote. Hippocrates. So that's an older quote there from a very, very long time ago from a philosopher, but as you can see, there's a lot of truth in that. I mean, that's been my contention all along, is that we, as a population, again, every individual is different, obviously, but as a population, we are moving less and eating more. That's how that change has morphed over the last 40, 50 years. It's not because the food's different. Availability of food certainly may be a key factor. Maybe we have fast food now. It's easy to get food. Go to the grocery store. There's, tons of grocery stores. We're not having to horse and, get the cart, get the horse, drive, take a day into town to get stuff come back. Like that, it's not 1800 anymore. Like there's upgrades that have made food consumption a lot easier to do, and our bodies are continuing to evolve and adapt to wanting high caloric foods. I'm a big proponent of this. There's a reason why things that have high calories taste good. I think on a chemical level, your body understands what food has a lot of calories and what doesn't, which is why when you look at a broccoli stem, it's not like, that looks so nutritious. That looks so good. I think your body knows there's not a lot of calories in there. And if you eat that, you're going to fill up your stomach with not a lot of energy. Your body wants to still operate like it's, 10 million BC. You see what I'm saying? Like it still wants to just hoard and save up a bunch of energy. And I think over time it's developed this uncanny ability to understand visual cues as well as taste and digestion and repeated patterns over time. It tends to learn quickly where there's energy and where there's not. Now that's my philosophy. That's my philosophy on that. So what can we do? So what if we accept this narrative, if we accept this as the baseline as to why the population is getting excessively overweight, and why maybe you yourself are starting to get more and more out of shape as we age. If we're going to accept this, and it sounds reasonable, that we're just eating more food than we have, what can we do about it? What can change? What can change? And this is really a discussion I'm very, very interested in, because this is what's going to provide you guys with takeaway actions today. Okay, here we go. So, at Rams and Leaf Fitness, our approach to nutrition has always been and will always be a customized approach. I do not have a generic diet meal plan that I give to everybody and say, hey, eat this and you'll lose weight. There's already a gazillion people that do that in my industry. There's already, if that's all you want, go somewhere else, right? My contention is that won't work. That will not work long term. Okay, you have to work with somebody, and this is sort of an interesting theory conversation we can have, is talking about service versus product. I think right now what's hot is product, right? Like we like the iPhone, we like the Apple Watch, we like earphones, we like Dr. Dre beats, we like Yeezy shoes or whatever the hell they're called. Like people like things as opposed to a service or an ongoing relationship, right? I think most of us dread going to the doctor, going to the dentist, like things where we have to interact with other people, and we may be criticized or given negative feedback, in these arenas. It's just uncomfortable, and most people right now are not into that. Okay, but I still, regardless of that, about how uncomfortable it is, I think we need to take a step back and evaluate service versus product. What I mean by that, especially and how this ties into nutrition, is you can pay for a diet plan. Like anybody can go find that on the internet. Go Google, hey, best personal trainer online, and they'll have a little program. You'll pay $50, and they'll give you a meal plan, and they might send you an email every once in a while. Okay, that is a product. That's not even a service. That's a product shaped and marketed as a service. I think we get in the habit of buying books, diet books, Atkins diet, paleo diet, paleo cookbook, all these different books, product, right? And try to follow that. But I don't even think we are aware of the fact that there are services to deal with nutrition or personal training or pretty much anything to do with your health and fitness. I believe that we all need a customized approach for nutrition that is going to be customized based upon the individual and kind of where they're currently starting. What is baseline? What do they weigh? What foods do they like? What foods do they hate? What are their allergies? What are their temptations? What are, these all play a role in this. And if they're not accounted for, you're going to have a less than optimal nutrition attack plan. So how can we do this on the podcast? How can I explain this? Essentially, this is what we do. This is what Rams Elite Fitness does. This is how we treat every client that we have. We break it down. We look at them. We try to figure out where they currently are, where they'd like to get to, and reverse engineer the whole thing. Starting with the goal and working back to where they currently are. And we account for all the different variables in terms of what they like to eat, what they hate, what they can't have, what's too hard for them. All these things, they have to come into play. Okay, this is what we currently do. But what I'm going to do is try to convey this and give this information to you in a digestible form so that you can implement this on your own right now. A couple things that you can do that are essentially the same thing that we do with people. Now it's on your own. Obviously, you don't have that second person helping you out and guiding you. But I still think you guys are ready for action, right? Okay, here it is. The first thing you have to do is analyze your current state. Okay, here. If you have a paper and pen, take it out. If you have your Evernote app on your phone, if you have a note-taking app on your phone, pull it out. Pause this. Get ready. Here we go. What I mean by analyze where you currently are, I'm talking you've got to measure scale weight. Okay, everybody probably already does that, but scale weight at a consistent time. Now, you could pick every Tuesday morning as soon as you get out of bed with no clothes on. There. I'm talking that consistent. It has to be formulated in that sense, like that specific. Okay? Or it's going to be Friday night before bed, with shoes on. Like, you've got to pick a time and pick the surrounding variables and make it consistent. Okay, it's going to be best to try to estimate where our scale weight is. Okay, every single time. Take measurements of body circumference or body measurements. So you take, go into your grandma's sewing kit. We all know that old string tape, right? The old plastic tape. Wrap it around your waist, your abdominal, right on your belly button, your hips, which is the widest part of your body. You can wrap it around your thigh, around your calf, around your tricep. Take measurements, write them all down, date them, and come back in 4 weeks, 1 month. Give it 1 month before retesting and remeasuring all of those circumference measurements. That's going to help us indicate body fat versus muscle, that relationship. Okay? It's not just scale weight. If you just go off scale weight, like I'll give you an example right now. Scale weight, I have lost maybe 2 pounds in like the last 4 months, but my body composition has changed. So if all I did was go scale weight, I would have no feedback. Like, oh my God, I'm stuck, I ain't losing weight. I'm measuring circumference measurements. Okay? Something that we can all do. You can have your significant other help you go around your body. It's nothing crazy. But that's going to that in relation with the scale weight can give you a better picture of your true body composition. The idea is if scale weight goes down, you're going to lose either fat or a combination of fat and muscle. Maybe some water weight fluctuations. Okay? If your body circumference measurements go down, that's most likely all body fat loss. Actual body fat loss. Could be a little bit of water loss if you're particularly bloated or something, or going through, like for the females, if they're going through a menstrual cycle, you tend to hold water and get puffed out. I get it. So it's not always exact. And that's the thing, folks. Like, this is all estimations. Like, this is just to help us. This isn't to get to an exact science and say, well, I'm exactly 37 and 1/8 third. Ooh, yes. Understand, right? So that's first and foremost. Like, you've got to know what you're currently doing on that scale weight and then your circumference measurement fronts, or you're in trouble. Okay. Step 2. Okay, here we go. Step 2. So once you've got that down pat, here's step 2. You download any sort of calorie tracking app. We use FitnessPal. It's free. Get it. It's not hard. It's not difficult. The idea of it, I understand, could be mentally exhausting. Like before you even start, like, oh my God, I've got to use an app to track my food. I'm telling you, it sounds hard. It's not hard. There's a little scanner even on the phone that can do barcodes. It knows exactly what the food is. They even have most restaurant foods in there. You can like search their actual restaurant and it pulls up exactly what the food is. Like it's not that hard. It's not 1990 anymore. Okay, technology is amazing. Download FitnessPal. And for 7 days, you record every food and drink item that goes into your body. Every alcoholic beverage, every morning coffee with creamer, every apple, chicken breast, pizza, calzone, brownie, cookie, anything that you consume, it goes into the damn thing. Okay? Got that? So step 1, step 2 in the books. You need 7 days of step 2, 7 days of tracking your current diet. The reason this is important is, again, we're establishing baseline. I want you to pick up a theme. Tell me if you've noticed it. Are you understanding now the groundwork that we are attempting to put in to get your baseline? Do you see how I don't just jump in and say, tomorrow, do the paleo diet? Hey, tomorrow, no more sugar. Oh, tomorrow, start right away. Do you see the groundwork already? It's very, very important. Very, very important. Step 3, after the 7 days, after you've completed 7 days of recording every food and drink that goes into your body, I want you to take on FitnessPal, it'll calculate your calories for every day. What I want you to do, 3rd grade math class, we're going to take the average of the 7 days, the calorie content. So if you forgot, it's okay, here we are. I'll put on my algebra bow tie. Ready? You take the calories from each day. So you should have 7 calorie numbers, right? You add them all together. It'll give you a big number. You take that big number, you divide it by 7. There's your average calorie intake for the last 7 days. That number is important for us. This is going to give us a general sense of the amount of food that you're currently consuming and what your body is trying to adjust to. There's a concept the body wants to be in homeostasis. I believe that the body learns to run off the energy provided. So if you're somebody that's starving yourself, yes, you will lose weight. Yes, you'll look really skinny. Your body will slow down a lot of processes, though. Your quote-unquote metabolism or your energy expenditure, it will be a lot lower than somebody else maybe at the same age and the same weight. So it's just going to give us a snapshot of kind of what your body's currently dealing with. Okay. Once you have this average intake, I want you to take your current body weight, remember, back from step 1, your current body weight, times your body weight by 14, and then times your body weight by 16. These will give you numbers probably between 2,000 and 3,000, somewhere in there. This is going to be your maintenance level in a perfect world, or not even a perfect world, but as a gut shot check, right? As an estimation, this is what is about you need to maintain your weight in terms of calories. So the 14 number, take your body weight times 14, that's on the lower end. Your body weight times 16, that's on the higher end. So if you're somebody that has a higher metabolism or higher energy expenditure, it's hard for you to gain fat, you're probably on the higher end. If you're somebody that, if you even look at a brownie, put on some pounds, probably closer to that 14 number, okay? This is your maintenance number. Take this number that we just calculated and match it up against your daily caloric intake of the last 7 days. What's different? Okay, is anything different? Is it the same? That comparison there is going to tell you a lot about your current diet and what's happening on the inside of your body. So if you're somebody that cannot lose weight and your average daily intake the last 7 days is lower than your maintenance level, your body's probably burning off less energy than somebody else comparatively to your same weight. Okay? And that's just, this is something that's common too. So don't beat yourself up if it's like not exactly the same or if it's different or you're confused. Like this is a pretty advanced concept. Like this isn't like for the average population, this is pretty into the health and fitness scene right now. Like this is pretty knee deep stuff, okay? So don't beat yourself up if you're like consuming way less than you're supposed to be or way higher than you're supposed to be or anything like that. This is just, again, this is still, believe it or not, this is baseline. Like we are still doing groundwork. All of these steps, as complicated as it seems, this is groundwork. This isn't even the nuts and bolts of a diet. Like we are trying to set ourselves up for success in the next 6 to 12 months. And all this is very, very important for all of it. So take those steps today. What I just laid out, sit down for a half hour, Map out how you're going to do this, what day you're going to weigh in, what are the specifics of that weigh-in, how you're going to measure, and do your body circumference measurements at the same time as your weigh-in, okay, just for practical means. Do all that at the same time, pick the same day, and then do it, we'll do that every 4 weeks. But start now with that. Download FitnessPal, start recording for 7 days. That's what you do. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, here's a little tip and then a little disclaimer too. When you're recording your diet, don't radically change your diet now. The whole purpose is to kind of gauge where you've been. So if you've eaten the same way for the last 3 years and you know it's probably not good, don't just start eating good for the 7 days of recording because you know it has to get tracked now. Don't start that now, okay? Try to eat what you've been eating. If you go out to the restaurants 3 times a week, well, guess what? Go out 3 times this week. If all you eat all day is a salad, 1 salad a day, then don't start eating chicken breast, rice, and all. Okay, record a salad. Do what you've been doing to gauge a true estimate of baseline. It is from this point then, once you start to understand kind of what you've been eating versus where the estimation of what maintenance is, now we can start to get to the nitty-gritty stuff. Now we get to the nitty-gritty. So that estimation that I gave you, okay, that number of estimated maintenance calories that you have, it's an estimation. But this is essentially where where your body will consume the amount of food it can consume and maintain your weight without gaining weight or losing weight. And I think, there may be people that are shocked, like, well, I'm eating way under maintenance, but I'm maintaining now, or that seems like a lot of food for me, maybe it's the other end where, oh my God, I feel like that's like no food at all. People, you may be surprised, okay? And that's okay. That's okay. We're doing this properly now. We're not going to take you through a scam diet. Here we go. This is what you got to do. So once you have that, you've got to get on maintenance for 7 to 14 days. Got to get to that. Got to make those numbers match up. Some of you are going to have to consume more food than you've been consuming. Some of you will be the other way around, where you're eating way too much, you're gaining weight, and now you know why, because you're eating above maintenance. Now it's time to bring it down to maintenance. Okay? Go ahead and do that for 7 to 14 days. So again, still groundwork. Amazing, right? Still groundwork. For those of you that are already consuming maintenance, congratulations. You can skip to the next step, which we'll get to in 1 second. But we're going to get to maintenance. And the reason this is an important step for those of you that are not at maintenance, is the purpose of a diet, especially for weight loss, or specifically for weight loss, is for you to consume as many calories as you possibly can while still losing weight. It's not cutting a shitload of food out, and there's the French for you, because I'm getting worked up here. It's not about cutting as much food out as you can to lose weight. That is a nightmare scenario. That'll leave you hungry. You'll crave food all day. Your body actually will slow way down all of its energy expenditure processes. Not good. Not a good scenario. Not optimal. Nowhere close. I want you to consume as much food as you can so that you can still enjoy your life and you don't hate dieting down and you still lose weight. That's a dream scenario. I know, maybe you don't believe me, but that's what we do on a daily basis with all of our clients. That is what we aim for. That's the golden ticket. And I'm telling you all how to do it. So here we go. Once you're at maintenance, okay? Once you're at maintenance, now we can cut calories. But only if all the other stuff is done first. If you go right to your calorie drop level without doing the aforementioned steps that may take you 14 to 30 days to do, it may take you that, then you are essentially building an Empire State Building or a large downtown structure on sand. Okay? So make sure that you do that before you even think about cutting calories. Once you've been at maintenance now for 7 to 14 days, how has your body reacted? Okay? I actually want you to weigh in and remeasure again. Weigh in and remeasure. How has your body reacted? Have you gained weight? Have you lost weight? Are you the exact same? That's going to take you on your next course of action. If you've gained weight on maintenance estimation calories, that tells me your body is slowed down. It is underperforming in terms of how much energy it feels like it can expend. So therefore, it's almost, I hate using the word starvation mode because that thing has been butchered. But essentially, your body thinks like there's not a lot of food available. So it's kind of slowed down the processes. It's not burning off as much energy. We want to flip that. We want it to be able to feel free to expend energy. So bring up to maintenance level. If you gain weight, all that means is that your body is not expending as many calories as we'd like. So go ahead and stay again another 7 to 14 days at maintenance, retest it. Should plateau then at that point in time. And then you're able to go to the next step. But make sure you are not gaining weight on your estimated maintenance level. If you are, stay there. If you're losing weight on estimated maintenance level, then that's okay. We can go to the next level. And this is all, by the way, in context of fat loss. So like if you want to gain weight, this is almost all taken in the opposite. If that makes sense. You kind of just flip everything around, and this thing kind of works pretty binary. We're going to go up the ladder for weight gain, down the ladder for weight loss. If you're somebody that after the first 7, 14 days of maintenance maintains your weight and are exactly the same, great. You can go to the next level. We're ready to go. Here's what you do. After that's situated, and this is going to be the last step that we'll talk about today. Now you're going to adjust your calories for your goal. Okay, if your goal is weight loss, and again, all this is a little bit different, so it's not exactly the same for everybody. I wish I could just give you an amount of calories to cut, but I cannot. You're going to cut calories probably in the range of 600 to 800. It's a good ballpark figure. And you're going to eat that for about 14 days. Retest everything. See how your body reacts. If you lose weight, great. Stay on the exact same level. And you're going to ride that out pretty much until you plateau. And then you go back on the maintenance and repeat the cycle. You got that? So, yes, you don't stay on a diet for 7 days. You're not doing a 20-day fix. This might last 1, 2, 3 months. But eventually you will plateau, build back up to maintenance. You'll have to recalculate it because you'll weigh less, hopefully, right? Recalculate it, repeat the process. Repeat the process. So just to give you a quick example, let's say your maintenance level is 2,700 calories. 2,700 is your maintenance level. You can go ahead and cut that to like 2,000 even. Hit up 2,000 calories every single day, 7 days a week, no days off, 7 days. Or, reweigh in and do your circumference measurements every 2 to 4 weeks. Start to monitor how your body changes if it's losing weight. And by the way, folks, a healthy rate is like 1 pound a week. So if if after 4 weeks you lose 4 pounds and you're mad about it, you're misplacing your anger. That's a great thing. 4 pounds a month is fantastic. It means we are eating a lot. We're eating food and we're still losing weight. Perfect. And you want to ride that out until you plateau. And then you'll just build back. Okay, makes sense. The opposite's true for weight gain. If you're looking to build muscle, you could probably increase. Taking the same example, 2,700 calories. Start like at 3,300 or 3,400 calories, 3,500, somewhere in there, and run that out for 2 to 4 weeks. Remeasure, see how your body's changing, and adjust accordingly. And if you're trying to gain weight, if you're not gaining weight after the first increase, you can go ahead and do that again. But that's as far as I'd probably go. Unless you're a freak of nature and you're burning like 4,000 calories a day or something. That's kind of how I'd roll. So that's a nice little. There you go, folks. That's a nice little setup of how to get going today. Like, just commit to those couple steps we talked about, and you're on your way to a sustainable diet for the nenext 12 months. That's what you want to do. And there's a couple different cycles, right? You go up and down. You change your calories around a little bit. You got to record all the time. It's a little different than probably what you're used to. Oh, you wish you could just cut out all the carbohydrate. It was so much easier back then. I'm telling you right now, this is the way to do it. If you want more information about how we kind of, formulate this process in terms of the measurements and even maybe like the macronutrient breakdown of like protein, fat, and carbohydrate, we have a book on Amazon. I'm not saying that, by the way, so that we have a bunch of sales. Like, I don't care about that. It's $3.99 for God's sake. I'm not going to become a millionaire from my Amazon ebook. But we do have an ebook, and the reason I wrote the book is because of how complex our approach is. And it's really not that complex, but compared to everything else that's out there, it's not a get quick, it's not a quick fix thing. So it's just there's more steps to it. So I wanted to list it out. So I wrote an ebook. It's like, I don't even know how many pages it is, like 35, 45 pages. Like, it's enough that you could finish in 1 or 2 nights. It's 39 pages on the Kindle. It's called The High Protein Diet, Unleash the Ability to Burn Fat and Build Muscle at Will. It's $3.99. So if you go to Amazon, the Kindle store, you can go ahead and buy that for $3.99. And it pretty much expands upon what we talked about today, right? It talks about how to get to maintenance. Then it talks about the macronutrient breakdown a little bit. And again, with that book, It's not don't take it as the Bible. Like, it's not word for word. Like, it's a general guide, and everybody will have to adjust for themselves. But that's really how you should get started with this diet. Test baseline, monitor, measure baseline, make a change because of, our goals. So we're going to reverse engineer it. We have our goals. We know how to get there. That's the change we're going to implement. Then we're going to retest, remeasure. That's the formula for success. It's not go on 3 days of Shakeology and then just hope to God you lose weight. Like, no. Let's reject that. Let's reject products. Let's do more service-based stuff. Let's think about working with one another. Let's create, an environment. Let's create a culture. These things. I'm on social media all the time. Add us on social media. We can keep this discussion going. You can email me. I said this a million times. Email me anytime you want. I'll be happy to have a conversation with you. Okay. The last thing I want to talk about, though, is for some of you that this is either way too much to do. And again, look, all of you are different. So just because maybe you're not like a quote-unquote go-getter for health and fitness, maybe you don't like doing it on your own. Maybe you're somebody that's just too busy to do all this stuff, or you feel like you are. There's the reason we create our e-coaching platform. If you go to ramsleyfitness.com, at the top under services, click e-coaching. It's our online platform to train people. It's 24/7, and it's not a product. It's not a product. It's not like I'm selling you a plan and you just go do it. What we do and what our professional staff does is we create a relationship. We actually work with you one-on-one and do the things that we talked about today. But we don't just do it for nutrition, and we don't just stop after measuring baseline stuff. This goes on for 6-12 months of constant changing. We look at your food, we analyze it for you, we tell you what to do, and all you got to do is go do it. And then either you do it or you don't do it. But as long as we have a plan forward, there's a path there for us. The other thing we do with e-coaching, obviously, is our exercise programming. So, so today was just nutrition-based talks. There's a whole concept of exercise that you have to do with this. You can't just go out and just eat this food and sit at home all day. You have to exercise too. And with our e-coaching platform, we do customized fitness there. So the same way we approached our nutrition attack plan and how we're trying to give you guys steps to get that moving in the right direction. We do the same thing with fitness. We try to look at your goals, reverse engineer the right plan for you. Kind of where you're starting at with your fitness career. You don't have to be somebody that's been in the gym the last 2 years. It doesn't matter. Baseline it out. Put the plan in motion forward. Let's start to form good habits. Maybe, someone starts with just consistency. Let's get to the gym 3 times this week. Let's just keep doing that. So same sort of thing that, we've built out for all of you. And there's apps that we track everything on. So it's very, very technology friendly. It's pretty easy to get along. There's not a whole bunch of, errors or technological problems that we experience. It's pretty straightforward. The last part of this e-coaching that we do. So again, customized nutrition, customized fitness. And hold on, give me 1 second. I have to do this. Got to do this. Perk your ears up. You'll love this. You'll love this. Oh, man. I am disturbed at the amount of people that say they do customized work and they do zero customization. I hate it. I cannot stand it. Let me ask you. Let me go right to the jury. Let me ask you in the audience, is this customized? When a trainer sells you programs and they may have different themes, but they're already pre-drawn up and they're done for you. But, maybe they'll ask you a couple questions, you give them some information, and they give you they select the plan for you. Do you view that as custom? Let me expand. You apply with this online trainer. Hey, yeah, train me online, cool. You apply to work with him. Maybe he sends you a questionnaire that's like, hey, do you want to do weight loss? Do you want to do muscle gain? What are your goals? Do you want to gain weight, lose weight? You send that to him, and then immediately, or maybe the next 24 hours, he sends you back an exercise plan and a nutrition plan that says fat loss plan. Now, what these guys do is behind the scenes, they create maybe 5 to 10 different archetypes, 5 to 10 different pre-programmed, full, exercise, nutrition, the entire regimen, but it's pre-done. And then based upon your answers, they give you the program. So, is that customized to you? To me, that's not customized. That's just putting me into a box. right? That's putting the clients in a box and saying, yes, you're this person. That's not customizing nothing. I'm talking, when I say customize, I mean, I don't have a plan for you. So if you want to start tomorrow, you're that ambitious, I'm going to tell you no. Like, we don't have it. I don't have the plan done. We can't do it for you. You're going to have to give us some time to put this together. Like, that's where we are. It's not a scalability thing like, oh, hey, we're just slow. We need time. Like, we're serious about this. So that's our customized. I hate seeing it all over the place. Customized fitness workout programs. And even personal trainers that, oh, hey, every athlete needs to have their own workout plan. It needs to be completely customized. Then you go to their social media profiles, and there's 10 kids in there at once working out doing the same thing. You ain't customizing nothing. You're playing yourself. You're acting like you're changing these kids' lives because you think they all need to do the sled, and they don't need to do the sled. There's nothing customized about it. Tell me right now, what kid has maybe overactive abductors as compared to the adductors? What kid's going to have internal rotation of the hip? Like, you don't know. You're not understanding that. You're not looking at them as an individual. You don't care about that. So I want to preface that because I think what's going to happen is when you hear the word customized fitness and nutrition, we tend to get lumped in with everybody else that says that and promises that and it doesn't do it. I'm very, very clear on that. And you know what? I'm going to create a new word for that. So be on the lookout here in the next 2 to 4 months. I'm going to come up with a new word that means that customized programming because so many people steal the damn word and misuse it. The last thing we do, though, on top of the customized fitness and the customized nutrition is the unlimited support. Like, this is a branch that I think people don't really understand or get. Like, they're so used to Googling things for themselves or finding information, but then you go back another 7 days later and the information, contradicts itself. You're having information overload because it's not your area of expertise. So don't blame yourself for maybe buying 8 months of Shakeology in your past. That's not on you. I say this all the time. It's never the consumers. It's my stupid industry and the people that push products because they know. They try to position themselves as some expert. They know you guys don't have time to go research everything on the same level that we're doing. So they're able to take advantage of you. So where does the support come in? Well, the support comes in, we give you the custom plan, and maybe you're struggling to do something. Maybe you need additional help. Well, guess what? 24/7, you can reach us. We respond. This is I don't want to just give you a plan and say good luck. That's not what we're doing. We're building relationships. If you have to hire a private tutor for your kid or something, that's one-on-one. They're working together. The teacher shouldn't come in and have 10 people in their classroom. That's the same thing they get there in school. That's the sort of relationship that I want to do as compared to everybody else who is doing more of the classroom setting, just 20 people in the classroom, one teacher. I'm talking tutor. One teacher, one student. Let's go. That's what I'm interested in. How else can we empower you for success? How can we unleash you, liberate you from all of your barriers, things that you find really, really tough to, things that prevent you from your true success if we don't know you? And the answer is you can't. So that makes us different. You're able to contact us, and we always respond within 24 hours. And oftentimes much, much sooner than that. So this is, again, look, I'm not saying this to everybody go sign up. I'm telling you this, the things that we talked about in today's podcast, if you struggle with that and are looking for additional help, then these two, the Amazon book for $3.99 and then the e-coaching, these are some different product, service for you guys, different things out there that are going to help you. This is additional support, additional help. Maybe 60% of the people that listen can go do the steps that we talked about today, and they're on their way. Maybe 10% of you don't care to do it. And maybe there's that leftover 30% that just need help. They love the idea. They want to do it. But maybe they are legit too busy to think all this on their own. Or they just want somebody to help them along the way. Well, that's where the e-coaching comes in. And again, you can find that at ramseyfitness.com, services, e-coaching. E-coaching. So I hope you guys really take away a lot of this value today. Put it into action. It's only valuable if you use it. That's the other thing. You can listen to podcasts and YouTube videos and read articles all you want. If you don't actually take action on things, if you don't try to put it into practice, then, it was valuable and now it's no longer because you're not using it. It's only valuable if you use the information to work towards action. Action is the name of the game. Not overaction, not CrossFit where you do too much and you switch everything up and try to do muscle confusion. Not that sort of be busy. I'm talking about real implementation. and working towards playing the long game. I'm telling you, you start playing the long game, your whole vision of health and fitness, your whole attitude towards it will completely change. I look forward to helping you all. Hit us up on social media, Ramsden Elite Fitness on Facebook and Instagram. Twitter is at Ramsden EF. And Snapchat's our newest one, Ramsden Elite Fitness. Hit us up there. Love y'all. Thanks for listening.